Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5 and we are going to present on our topic, which is application of nuclear in agricultural.
In this topic, we would like to elaborate 3 points which are in animal productivity and health. Second, the nuclear packages, and third, the insect control.
Now I will explain on the first topic, which is animal productivity and health. The world is facing serious socio-economic problems with substantial impact on the entire human population, including food insecurity and inefficient livestock productivity, which result in increased threats and outbreaks of transboundary and zoonotic animal diseases, including those that potentially pose a biothreat. The agricultural and livestock sector must become more resilient and more efficient at producing more and better quality crops, meat, milk, and eggs per unit of farm area, while promoting climate-smart agriculture and protecting the environment through the educated use of land, water, and other natural resources. It must also effectively manage the biosecurity and biosafety constraints imposed by climate change through transboundary animal and zoonotic diseases in order to improve farmers' livelihoods and to achieve sustainable food production. The Joint Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations FAO with International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA Division of Nuclear Techniques in Food and Agriculture assist member countries through the use of nuclear and nuclear-related technologies to improve livestock productivity through the efficient use of locally available or alternative feed resources, the optimal utilization of livestock reproduction and breeding practices, and the development and transfer of technologies for detection of transboundary animal and zoonotic diseases, including those that pose a potential biothreat. What they actually do? They assist in the development and transfer of capacity in the use of nuclear and nuclear-derived or related techniques for development, evaluation, and validation of technologies enhancing animal production and sustainable implementation in national laboratories. For example, they develop radioimmunoassay to measure and trace hormones in female animals that control the reproductive cycle and thus enhance artificial insemination, embryo transfer, and breeding strategies. Besides, they improve immunological and molecular diagnostic techniques using isotopic labeling to trace, monitor, and characterize transboundary animal, zoonotic, and biothreat pathogens. Besides that, isotopic labeling is used to trace and investigate metabolic pathways of ingested livestock nutrients to determine energy conversion. They also use irradiation to attenuate or inactivate animal, zoonotic, and biothreat pathogens for use in livestock vaccines. Furthermore, they use stable isotope ratios to investigate migratory routes primarily of birds and the potential of these to carry disease.
Next, we go to another application of nuclear in agriculture, which is used in insect control. This is the problem statement. Estimates of crop losses to insects vary, but are usually significant. Despite the widespread use of insecticide, losses are likely to be of the order of 10% globally, and often notably higher in developing countries. So that's why there are many ways approach to reducing insect reproduction, such as use genetically modified crops so that much less insecticide is needed, and to disable the insects using radiation. But the one that we want to discuss here is about how to disable the insects using radiation. So firstly, we go to the how application of nuclear in agriculture. Radiation is used to control insect populations via the sterile insect technique, which is SIT. Okay, The application of nuclear exposure to ionizing radiation is currently the method of choice for rendering insects reproductively sterile for area-wide integrated pest management. AWIPM programs that integrate the sterile insects technique. Usually, gamma radiation from isotopy sources, which is cobalt-60 or caesium-137, is most often used, but high-energy electrons and X-rays are other practical options. So, the one that we usually use in this gamma radiation is cobalt-60 or caesium-137, and another radiation that can be used is the high-energy electrons and X-rays. Insect irradiation is safe and reliable when established safety and quality assurance guidelines are followed. The key processing parameter for a SIT is absorbed dose, which must be tightly controlled to ensure that treated insects are sufficiently sterile in their reproductive cells and yet able to compete for mates with wild insects. To the end, accurate dosimetry measurement of absorbed dose is very important. Next, we go to the effects of radiation to insects. The sterile insects remain sexually competitive but cannot produce offspring. Okay, so we go here. In the case of the sterile insect technique SIT, radiation can make an insect reproductively sterile by damaging the chromosomes of gonadal cells, specifically causing germ cell chromosome fragmentation, dominant lethal mutations such as dominant lethal mutation, translocation, and other chromosomal aberration that lead to the production of imbalanced gametes and subsequently the inhibition of mitosis and death of fertilized eggs or embryos. While in adult insects, megaste stem cells, which undergo continuing mitotic divisions, are particularly sensitive to ionizing irradiation, and the irradiation of certain species may cause a significant reduction in lifespan and increased mortality. Nevertheless, the successful sterilization of certain insect species without a reduction in their lifespan may indicate that cell replacement in the megaste is either not a factor or is not of major importance to viability. Then we go to the process of SIT, process of sterile insect technique. Sterile insect technique involves rearing large populations of insects that are sterilized through irradiation gamma, such as gamma or X-rays, and introducing them into natural populations. This is the picture that shows how the sterile insect technique process happens. The sterile insect technique is a method of biological insect control. The first step, the mass rearing of insects takes place in special facilities. Mass rearing is the meaning is like the large scale of farming for insects. After the mass rearing of insects, the male and female insects will be separated. Ionizing radiation is used to sterilize the male insects only. After that, the sterile male insects are released over the towns or cities, which is where they will compete with the white males to mate with females. After that, these female insects will lay eggs that are infertile and bear no offspring. Because of what? Because of the male have been sterilized with the radiation. The result will be reducing the insect population. Next, we go to the advantages of using radiation in SIT. The sterile insect technique is environmentally friendly and has proved an effective means of pest management even where mass application of pesticide had failed. This is another advantages of using radiation to sterilize insects, which is the temperature rise during the process is insignificant. The sterilized insects can be released immediately after processing, and then irradiation does not add residues that could be harmful to human health or the environment. And lastly, the radiation also can pass through packaging materials, allowing insects to be irradiated after having been packaged. The International Plant Protection Convention also recognizes the benefits of SIT, the benefit of sterile insect technique (SIT), and categorizes the insect as beneficial organism.
The application of nuclear in agriculture is to improve the yield of agricultural production by providing nuclear packages. These nuclear packages has been introduced due to the problem arises when the farmers try to plant the rice in paddy field. As we know, the rice is a major staple food in Malaysia and also the main source of income for most people here. The nuclear packages has been made by Jabatan Nuklear Malaysia that consists of two materials, which first, the NMR 152 seed, which is a new mutation rice seed, and second, the oligochitosan, which is an organic plant growth and plant elixir. So here is the main part for the nuclear packages, which is what is exactly nuclear seed of NMR 152. Basically, the seed has been provided to the farmers who have been affected in the flood in Pahang before this, and the method development for this seed, which is induction mutation method by gamma radiation to the parent, and produce a new variety of seed that we are mostly better from their parent, and the result obtained by using this seed the seed can produce 8 to 10 tons of rice per hectare, despite of 2 to 3 tons before this. And also the production cost also has been reduced from 5% to 10%. And lastly, the advantages of by using this seed: first, the seed can survive drought and flooding, and secondly, the seed also can withstand the rice blast disease and also the high winds, and thirdly, the farmers also can generate income despite of the uncertainty weather condition. The next part is for the plant promoter oligochitosan. Basically, this plant promoter has been derived from chitin, which is found in household and also agricultural waste. The chemical process has turned the chitin into chitosan, and by electron beam irradiation or gamma irradiation can turn the chitosan into the oligochitosan. And this plant promoter has shown the result that the need for pesticide and fertilizer has been reduced to only 30% of it. And basically, when the impact of the nuclear packages on rice production in Malaysia has shown that by using less fertilizer and also less water, it can generate more yield of rice production in a very small area, plus is also generate more income to the farmer despite of uncertainty weather condition. Some additional points for crop production, which is the type of fertilizer. So basically, some of the fertilizer also has been improvised by putting the nitrogen 15 into the fertilizer. Basically, the nitrogen 15 is a stable isotope of nitrogen, and as we know, the nitrogen is a main nutrient for crop production. By using this kind of fertilizer, we can determine the amount of fertilizer that required for crop production and optimize the use. So indirectly, this way can help the farmers to cut the production cost. As the conclusion, we can see the advantages of using nuclear technology in agriculture system. That's all from us. Thank you for your attention, and wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.